I'm Vanessa Wright, the girl on a bike. I'm here with two Pan Americas and I'm in Wales. And can you hear that racket? That is one of my co-riders for the adventure riding. So I'm here with Seats and HP2 Mav, and we're going to be putting the two Pan Americas and Seats' beast through the works in North Wales. Right, and with these two troublemakers, we have met in Llanignoeth, as he said it, which is a town in the middle of Wales. And we are going to be here for 3 days. We've got two Pan America specials that don't have anywhere near enough mud on them. We have done a couple of things to get them ready for an off-road ADV adventure, so I'll talk you through that once we're out on the trails. And then we have Seats on his KTM. We won't talk about that one quite as much in this video. So this video is all about seeing how much fun you can have on a Pan America off-road, how capable it is. There's probably going to be some drops, some swear words, as you would normally have adventure riding, but we're going to be putting it to the test on the Harley-Davidson. So stay tuned. Make sure you let me know what you think in the comments. Do hit subscribe, like, all of that fun, and let's get riding. Right then, we are all finally ready, kitted up. Mav is on the green one, as we can see. Woohoo! Just getting a bit climatised, and I'm on the grey steel beast. We're gonna go put in some fuel and hit the trails and the road and the twisties and the mud. Woo! Oh dear, we are fat as a donkey. I don't know what I left on. Okay guys, we're gonna start the day with some exercise. Let's go.
Whoa. That's a lot of compression, isn't it?
Oh, it turns out the Pan America has a reverse gear when you have two men.
You have two tools.
Two tools pulling me. We're gonna have to try and jump start it. All part of the adventure. Oh god. I've not come best equipped for jump starting a bike, so I've got the massive van jump leads, but we've got it in. So I guess that's the first learning. The Pan America's battery is down underneath at the front, not under the seat. We're letting it run for a few minutes to let it go. What's so silly is I've got my C-Tech mobile CS3 thing, which will start a battery flat to alive in like 15 minutes. And I looked at it yesterday and I went, I don't need to pack that. I should have taken that as a sign. Anyway, my theory is I didn't leave the Harley's keys with the bike in the trailer. I've trailered up here because I bought all the camera equipment and two bikes. And so the bike was probably in the trailer for 3 hours yesterday going meh, 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 being stolen, which wasn't really very clever. Paying the price for it now, fingers crossed. We're going to get some juice from the KTM. Hopefully we'll get them started. Okay, I missed the magic moment where I pressed the button because I didn't have enough hands, but we've got power. It was just a silly little flat battery and a Vanessa fail. So we're going to get this packed up and then we're going to hit the road. Right then, probably can't hear me over that exhaust, but we're going for take two. Bikes are started. Let's do it!
That's what I love. A brand new quarter-ton motorcycle on a downhill rocky loose shale. Thanks for that.
Cool, we're out in the trails. We've hit some of the wet, muddy, dusty stuff here. Well, there's no dust, it's just mud and slate in Wales. And I thought I'd give you a quick intro to the Pan America Specials, which we're here riding on. Now, these are totally straight off the forecourt from Harley-Davidson, but I have made a couple of changes to make off-road a little bit more attainable, I suppose, on a standard bike. So the most obvious one is the rubber on the bottom. We've got some Michelin Anarchy Wilds going on there. Taken off the wing mirrors, which are basically going to be sacrificial lambs to get smashed on a drop. And then the little foot pegs that are on the bike. So down here, if we get camera in a little bit, in here there's some little rubbers. They come out in seconds, no tools even needed. And then here you've got your little twisty thing to give you a different depth gauge. So I've got that on the highest setting for off-road. It makes it a little bit more comfortable for your riding position. Other than that, this bike is as it comes. Now, it comes with different riding modes, so obviously we're going to put it into off-road mode and turn traction control off. We've got 150 horsepower and 128 Newton meters of torque, so we do have quite a lot of power in there. The off-road mode is going to make that manageable to have some fun in the mud. We've got two of them here, the two different colours, otherwise they really are off the forecart. So we've got Mav, enter, haha! He's up on the Pan America at the moment, Seat's riding his KTM. We will be switching it around. We've done a little bit of twisty roads. What's your first thoughts?
Way more responsive power than I expected. More responsive engine. It has that more kind of modern bike feel compared to what you might expect from Harley.
Cool.
Really comfy. You can imagine doing long days in it on the road. Good wind as well.
Good wind. Was that you or the bike?
Well, I can smell something.
Oh gosh. Coffee.
Specifically a Starbucks coffee.
He requires his coffees on his adventures, which is fair enough. I'm going to enjoy coffee. Yeah.
But this shifts on the road.
You thought you were going to lose me?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, that.
It's got some mega road power. I think for the average rider that actually has a Pan America, they probably won't do that much off-road as a guess. I mean, I am broad brushing it, but for road, there's a lot of play in there. I had it in sports mode, which kind of the whole bike up and just opens the throttle out. Yeah, I kept up with you. You thought you were going to be like, bye Vanessa.
Yeah. And to be fair, Seats isn't exactly slow.
Well, no, and actually it's surprising how much this little thing, it is a little bit flimsy, Harley. I'm not going to lie, that bit too flimsy, but it does its job. We were going along then at the speed limit. Obviously. And I felt like I could have taken my hands off. It was so solid and stable and I didn't have wind in my face. Although I'm really missing my custom fit ear guards that you normally see in my ears. I might have possibly left them on the workbench of the garage and the mice might have had a earplug feast.
Tasty.
So normally I am a very big advocate of making sure you've got your hearing protection in. I've got some new ones on order. I think we should get a coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee. Alright, we're in Starbucks. I promise you we are real off-road riders, but I've got a split nail, so I'm filing it with a Leatherman that Mav, the action man, had on him. We need to do some serious riding this afternoon to make up for this.
I thought we were going home now. I thought we were done.
GS riders, this is where they finish.
That's it. This is the climax.
This is where BM riders finish. They just ride here and ride home. That's what we're doing.
I'm really sorry if you're a GS rider and you're watching this. Yummy hot coffee and a toasted cheesy thing done. How are we doing, guys? Oh no. We've got a seat cover off. What's happening, Mr. KTM?
I think my tank's split.
Your tank has...
The rear tank.
A tank split doesn't sound so good.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Above the exhaust.
I feel like we're having one of those days where the bikes are like, I think it's time to go home. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a rear fuel tank leak on the KTM. We have wedged tissue in to seal it.
To basically make it a fiery death.
A fiery death will be the result, apparently. The show will go on. We're going to keep riding, we'll monitor it, and hopefully do some more trails. You'll find out in the video how it goes.
All on the Stuck News.
Oh no! It'll all be fine.
Harley isn't really that big. It's 175, which is on the lower end for this sort of bike, but Harley have done that in order to keep the seat height lower. Something they've done to try and support the compromise between ground clearance and seat height is the active ride suspension. So I'm going to try and show you. Basically, it's a suspension that will lower down when you're stationary and rise up slightly as you pull away. Now, as you're riding, it's so seamless, you don't really feel it. But the key moment that you can notice it happening is now when the bike's been sat there and when you first turn the ignition on. And you should, if the cameraman can hold it still enough, see the bike drop slightly as I turn the ignition on. So you can see now I'm 169 centimetres with a 69 centimetre inside leg. I'm very easily flat-footed. So I'm going to turn the ignition on. Do you see that lowering? So now I've got even more of a bend in my leg, and that suspension works seamlessly as you pull away and stop. So every time you stop, it's always going to be in that lower position, which I think is a fantastic thing for confidence. These are big bikes. It is a slightly heavier bike in the category. What is it, 256 kilos, fully laden with a full 21 litre fuel tank, all the oils, etc. So it is heavy, and things like having that contact with the ground really helps make it manageable. And it's actually amazingly low in weight, so when you're on it, it doesn't feel too heavy. While we're stood here, I've got a little bit of a gripe with this bike, and that's the handguards. So they are designed to be the sacrificial weakest link, because when you fall, something has to be the thing that breaks. But the little bit where they slide on I mean, it engages, but getting on and off the bike, you can so easily knock it and they disengage. And it's annoying, Harley-Davidson. But I mean, it's an easy thing to fix. It's just annoying.
Yeah. Boom.
Well done. It is bonkers windy up here. The clouds come in, so we've got pretty low visibility, and it is so windy. Woo! Wales is beautiful, and we're having fun on these guys. Oh yeah, woo-hoo! Iconic lane. back to the hotel. It definitely got dark on us. I absolutely love the headlights on this bike. As you, woo!
Alright.
Wobble. As you go around the corners, they have like a sequential light. Depending on how far you tilt, it will light more to the left or more to the right, so you can properly see as you're going around corners. Now, what did you reckon to those lights?
They're awesome in the corners.
I thought it was really cool.
They're so good in the corners that I almost miss them in the straights.
Yeah.
I feel like
Like,
I
you
almost
need full beam on.
I feel like full beam could be better,
Yeah.
but the corners is mega.
Yeah. Oh man, successful day, guys.
Boom.
Woohoo! So, we're not very good with the phone. I've got really cold fingers. Although the heated grips are amazing, but the little tip of this one that was hanging out on my lever is cold. I can really safely say that the Pan America can do green laning in the UK with ease, really. Time for a warm shower and some dinner.